Hi Harshi, how are you doing?
Hey, hi, Griti. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well too. So what's happening around? What's going on?
Okay, so as of now, for today, there's nothing major happening. I've decided to take it slow. But yes, there's some client work pending here and there, so I have to finish it and deliver it.
Amazing. So
Yeah.
welcome to Journey Teachers and let's begin with a brief introduction of you. Kindly introduce yourself to the people watching.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here, first of all. And I'll tell about myself quickly. So, hello, everyone. My name is Harshi Jain, and I'm a social media strategist. And along with that, I've recently started coaching newbie freelancers with their freelancing journey in their freelancing journey. So, I'm a freelancing coach as well, and I help like both coaches as well as freelancers to land clients using the power of social media in their very own ways. Like for coaches, it's different, and for freelancers, it's different. So, yeah.
Amazing. At such a young age, you are doing so much. Like you have been a freelancer and a service provider and you are starting your own course as well. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This means a lot.
Okay, so let's begin with the very first question. How can freelancers land high ticket clients using the power of social media?
Okay, so there's a lot of steps involved in this process, and the first and the foremost basic step when it comes to landing a high ticket client is to understand which platform works best for you. So you should like you can get client through any social media platform, whether it's Instagram or Facebook groups or LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever it may be. You can get clients through any of these platforms. But first you need to figure out with whom you wish to work with, and then accordingly you have to pick up platform for yourself. So say for example, if you wish to work with coaches or consultants, online coaches and consultants, so these are the people, they usually like mostly they hang out on platforms like Facebook groups or Instagram. So that is going to be the best place for you to create content or to be present on, so that you will be able to get clients. So the first thing is to know about your target audience, followed by the right platform for you. Okay, so that is the very first thing. Now the next thing is going to be to start creating content to actually to position yourself as a go-to person in the industry. And if even if not go-to, like the people should be able to relate with you and understand that you can actually deliver what you are telling people. Okay, after that I will say that the best way to approach high ticket clients is not to wait for them to come to you. Like it should not be an inbound approach all the time. Definitely inbound leads are great, they do wonders, but I believe that you shouldn't wait for the person to come to you, but rather you should go to them. Okay, why delay your success? That's what I'll say. Like why delay getting a high paying client just waiting for an inbound lead to come? So now what you should do is that you go through people's account, you engage with their content, you create some content, you engage with their content, and figure out who are the people with whom you can work with, or with whom you wish to work with. Now once you know that these are the people, now figure out what are the problems they are facing in their business, and is your service can be a solution to those problems. If you think that yes, your service can be a solution to those problems, their problems, then make a point to figure out their email id, because usually their email IDs are available on LinkedIn or on Instagram. So try figuring out where you can get your email ID and then write an email to them telling that, this is the problem that they are facing and this problem is costing them this much money, or what is it that that particular problem is costing them, and then pitch your service as a solution to it. When you cold pitch people, I'm not saying that you will get replies from everyone, but definitely you will get a lot of replies, and those replies can be game changer for you for sure.
Absolutely. These are some amazing tips to identify one's target audience and pitch your offer in such a way that they find it relatable and they feel that it is
Hmm,
solving all their problems. So
exactly.
this actually is working in the industry.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So how does a content strategy varies from a
Hmm.
freelancer to freelancer? What factors influence the right content strategy?
So, it depends of the content strategy. Say, for a product-based business, is going to be different from a service-based business, or for a service-based business, it's going to be different from a coach, or for a freelancer, it's going to be different. So, for each of the categories, the strategy is different. Now, even in freelancing, the strategy on certain paths it will be similar, while on other paths it's going to be different. So there are a lot of factors, as in what is your target audience. First of all, that is the thing. So some freelancers wish to work with, say, product based businesses, while others wish to work with coaches, and maybe the third one works to be uh, prefers working with, say, small businesses, or they want to work with influencers. So now they'll create content that targets influencers or that targets coaches. So that is the very first thing that we need to focus on, is what is your target group. And then according to that target group, the next thing should be that what is the problem that particular target group might be feeling, or what is the problem that they are facing. Now once you know that this particular target group can be facing this problem, in association with your service, then you are going to create content around that. Now next thing is going to be around, say, engagement. Like if you're creating content for, say, coaches, you are not going to engage or network with product based businesses. So you have to be mindful about this thing as well. So I think, according to me, the major impacting part is to know your target audience, right? Once you know that these are the people you wish to work with, your content strategy will automatically be inclined towards that particular group, and that is really going to help you.
Exactly. To identify the target audience and the ideal
Hmm.
clients from that is really important. And the content strategy can
Exactly.
always vary according to that.
Hmm.
Right.
Hmm.
Okay. So, talking about lead generation, what do you think are the ways to generate the leads that actually become future clients too?
Okay. Lead generation, first of all, I will say that lead generation is an ongoing process. Whether you are booked out of clients or whether you don't have any clients, it should keep going on. I'll say to people that, keep a buffer of leads for yourself, because in future you don't know that which client may just decide to call off the contract in between, or which client may, just you suddenly realize that with this particular client, you were thinking that they'll extend the contract period, but they did not, and then they just end up leaving you. So anything uncertain can happen in future. So the first and the foremost advice, even before I go on telling about how you should generate leads, is to keep a pipeline of leads. Like, at least keep a few people ready, so that even if some people just go away, you have others coming and other leads coming in, and they can be your potential client. Now coming to the part of lead generation, one of the best ways to generate leads is going to be through your content, is to create content, because content, as we all know, is available for free. And even before I wish to work with anyone, I would love to come up and see what are they doing on their profile. Or for example, if I say that I am a content writer, so I would love to come up and first see what kind of content you're writing, or what kind of content you are actually creating for your, say, LinkedIn profile or your Instagram profile, or maybe your blog. So your content is going to act as your very first resume or your very first portfolio in front of your client. So that is the first thing. So then the second thing I will say is, first is obviously to create the right kind of content. Now the second thing is going to engage with right people, because engagement is super important. Engaging and networking with people. You need to engage with right people. You need to start building connection. Engagement should be with the intention of meeting new people, connecting with new people. Like you came to me, and maybe probably you also started engaging with my content. You were foreseeing me, you were following me all this while, and that's why you decided to approach me to do this interview itself, right? So it's important to engage with others, because when you will engage with them, your content will come up in front of them, and their content will come in front of you, right? And with that, you will be able to build that subtle connection which you may not realize. Like, you are not talking, even if you're not talking, but you are engaging through content, they will know this person, that okay, this person continuously engages with my content. And then one day they'll probably come and maybe see you through your profile. And what if they need your service? What if they are looking for someone who is offering the same services that you are offering? Okay. So they can then just come up to you and ask them for your service, because you are engaging with their content. So engaging is super important with the right people. So you should know, as I mentioned about the target audience, that you should know who your target audience is, and then accordingly you should engage with those people. Now the next thing is to network. Now engaging is like commenting on their content, or maybe sharing their content, or interacting with them. Uh, Networking is getting inside their DMs and speaking to them, just catching up with them, and maybe just once or twice a month, or once or twice in a while, getting on a call with them and just having a random chat, just to build that network and connection. And if in case in future if they need you, they'll be happy to have you on board. You'll always prefer having someone whom you know, whom you have spoken to 1 or 2 times, rather than having someone whom you don't know at all. Obviously that is going to be the best option, that you already know me, then you will obviously come and hire me, right? So that is how networking should be. You should interact with their content, and then you should always also make a point to have some chat with them, or even hop on a video call with them. Maybe even 15-20 minutes of call is perfectly fine. So that is second important thing that will really help in lead generation process. And then the next thing I will say is to do cold outreach as much as possible. Cold outreach can really bring in some really good leads and some really good conversion. So that is going to be the next thing. So yeah.
Absolutely, these 3 pointers really matters. Like engaging with the content and engaging with them regularly, networking with them, and cold outreach. It really works, and I have seen these examples coming true in real lives as well. So try engaging, try building those network with your ideal clients, with your target audience, and start engaging, and the leads will automatically come to you.
Exactly, I
Absolutely.
absolutely agree.
Okay. So what's the power of stories for nourishing for nurturing one's leads?
Okay, so let's understand this process of uh, a stranger converting into your maybe your follower, or if not follower, let's take example of a client. Okay, so there is this three-step process which most of us know about, that is generate, lead generation, nurture, and convert. Okay, so we just spoke about lead generation, like how you can generate leads for your business. You are doing all that, engaging and networking and content creation and all that stuff you are doing, right? Now it's time to nurture them. And when it comes to nurturing, every platform has their own form of stories. Instagram stories are there. Then LinkedIn also has this kind of story feature, and even Twitter has its own kind of story feature. But the best of all these three are the Instagram stories. And I believe that Instagram stories are really helpful in nurturing the audience, provided that you are doing it in the right way. So once someone know you that this person is your potential lead, this is the person with whom you can work with. Now this person is coming up and following you. Now they'll get to know about you. They'll get to know you a lot more closely through your stories. So your story should be a combination of both your personal life, only like that part of personal life that you are okay showing up on social media. It need not be everything or very too intimate parts of your life. You need not show that. Whatever you are comfortable in showing up, just bring it up. And then next is going to be work related things. So you are going to do things like mini trainings, and towards the end of mini training you can give a call to action saying that, hey, I have spots available for this particular service. If you need, you can DM me. And if someone is probably interested, they can come up and uh, you know ask you about that particular service. So that's how you can nurture it. Then another way you can use your stories in the right manner is to maybe give them a walkthrough or a tutorial like thing, that hey, see, this is how I do this thing. uh, this is how my systems look like. And if you need this like similar system set up for your business, you can DM me and you can reach out to me and I'll be happy to help you. So that is where stories come up into picture, and they really help in nurturing better. So yeah.
I love the way you have explained with so many examples, and you have given so many ready to go templates. Like we can show behind the scenes, we can include everything, like whatever we want.
Hmm.
So that's really good. Okay.
Yeah.
So some tips to manage multiple clients, including one studies as well. Would love to hear from you.
Okay, so managing multiple clients and studies. So the first and foremost thing, even I am this person who is trying to, figure this thing out, but there's this one particular method that has really worked for me. So first and the foremost thing is to have a place where you have kept all the records of your client. That is the foremost thing, because if you are working with say 5, 6 clients at a time, you need to remember whose due date is when, or which client is paying you how much money, and all those stuff. So you need to have a maybe have a Notion template, or maybe have a Asana board, or whatever tool you use, whatever system you use to manage your business. There, make a point to add these clients there, and make it, like in opposite to their name, mention that how much amount they're supposed to pay and what is the due amount for them and what is the due date. So that is the first thing that you should have in place, because it will give you a lot of clarity on when you should send invoice to one particular person and what is the amount, because remembering everything in mind is not possible at all. So that is the first and the foremost thing. Now coming to managing multiple clients, now one thing that has really helped me is to divide days accordingly. So on Mondays, maybe you can pick up and make it one particular day. On Monday, I'll work for, say, client A and client B, and I'll be working for them on their let's if I'm a social media manager, I'll give you that example. So let's say on Mondays I will work on researching for client A and client B, and along with that for client C I'll do some designing work. So what I'm doing, that although I'm keeping everything, like for client A and client B I'm doing researching, but just to give a tweak or just to give a little bit of uh, a different exposure to my mind, just to give a change to my mind, I am including designing as well, a bit of designing. So what I can do, in the morning hours I'll do all the research part, whereas in the evening hours I'll do the designing part. So accordingly I divide my days for different tasks. On Monday I'll do research, on Tuesday I'll do some content strategy and planning, on Wednesday I'll curate all the content, on Thursday I'll design the content, on Friday I'll send it to client for approval. So that's how you can approach it. And I know things lag here and there, and you need not be too harsh on yourself, saying that, oh no, why my systems aren't working. Take it easy. Eventually just try to stay consistent with those systems for some time, and eventually it will work out. Even if it fail, just get up from that particular place and continue, and eventually it will work for you. So that's my take on system. Now coming to the part of how do you manage it with your studies. So my answer will be that uh, you have college, and usually, like according to the usually, we most of us have it during the morning hours, and the college goes in like these are the certain hours allotted to college, and during that time only college happens. Say from morning 8 to 12, that is the timing for college, let's assume. So till 12 you know that you cannot do things anything before that, right? So allot that particular time to college. Now after that, whatever time you have left, make slots for your work, that okay, at 12 my college will get over, so I'll start working at say 1:30. I'll have my break, I'll do the lunch and everything. I'll start working at 1:30. From 1:30 to I will work till 3, and then at 3 I'll have my a small break. So you can similarly, like uh, like make slots for your work. And when you have these slots, that this is the first slot I'm working in and this is going to be the second slot, things get quite easy to work and manage. So allotting different slots for your study and for your client work is going to help.
Definitely, you have literally decoded the entire days and the entire week's schedule as well. And I'm learning so much from it as well. Okay, thank you so much for sharing this.
I'm so glad, like, you found it helpful. I'm super glad.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, what's the right way or some advice regarding negotiation and objection handling for freelancers?
All right. So negotiation and objection handling. So my first and foremost advice will be that whenever you get on a call with a particular prospect or client, first do some research about them. And this, why am I saying this? Because when you do some research and when you know that this is so just like someone booked a call with you on like calendar, and you are going on a call and you don't have any clue about what do they need, so you are just going all blank. Whereas if you just do some little bit research beforehand and you know that this particular person needs a content strategy, so that particular research will help you set a base in your mind that okay, this person wants this thing, and my content strategy or the content work I do, it usually say I charge $300 for that particular thing. So you can have a particular base rate set in your mind, and then as soon as you get on a call, as you talk to them, as you understand their requirement, you'll get much more clarity on that particular rate. Okay, so they are saying that like the base rate I am charging is going to be 300, but now they want these addition as well, so it's going to be $400, let's say. Now you need to have this one particular figure beyond which you are not going to negotiate, like this particular one basic figure, right? So for example, say this particular service is coming up to $500. Now the client is saying to negotiate, hey, can we please negotiate? So decide that if they decide to pay me beyond $350, I'm not going to take this project up. So that is the first and the foremost thing that you should consider while negotiating, is to have a very basic price set in your mind that beyond, if they go beyond this, I am not going to take this client up. This is going to be the minimum price that I am going to charge for this project. So uh, and always quote a little higher. This is something that I've noticed for myself, that all right, we think that okay, for social media management, say I want to charge $500, my or as per my calculation, $500. So don't quote directly $500 because you think $500. Quote say maybe 550, and then you will negotiate, and you think you want to bring them to 450. Say they want to work with you till 450. So if you just quote 500, they'll be like, hey, 400 or 350, 350. First they'll do 350, then they'll push themselves, say 375, then 400. So when you do the like price it a little higher, so that whenever negotiation happens, you can fall in a place where you are also happy and the client is also willing to pay, and you are not undercharging yourself. So the advice is to quote little higher. So these are my two advices when it comes to negotiation.
Absolutely, these two advices really work, and I would especially like to highlight this the second advice as well. If you charge a
Yes.
little higher, so the client like it will you know it will convince the client that okay, we can bring
Hmm.
it down to this much amount. So
Hmm.
this kind of tip
Yes.
really works, and it causes no harm.
Exactly. And one more thing to this I like to add is that, say for example, the client agrees to your service is $500 and you said $600. And if the client is good with that, you suddenly close something for $600, and that's great. It's like bonus $100. And because this shows that even if you would have said $500, client would have agreed. So saying 600 is was a great option or great chance to take.
Yeah.
So that you can suddenly make a little more money as well if the client agrees on that. So that is also a add on here.
In that case, the client is definitely your ideal client, and she is
Hmm.
actually valuing your services, and you need to provide
Exactly.
quality services in that case.
That's it's not, it cannot be, it's exceptional. So yeah,
Yeah,
you
right.
cannot leave it.
Definitely. Okay. So I would now want you to
Yeah.
talk about your courses, Dream Clients Accelerator and related.
Yeah. All right. So, like as I told you, I'm also a freelancing coach and I'm helping freelancers with their journey. So the area where I have decided to focus on is to get good high paying clients as a freelancer. That is the area where I wish to focus on because freelancers struggle a lot with getting clients. So that is what the major focus of Dream Clients Accelerator is. So this particular course is divided into three stages, where the first stage is to prepare you for getting clients, because you cannot go into a war or into a battle without preparing. Okay, so similarly, you cannot go for hunting clients without preparing yourself first. So the first stage is preparation. Then the second stage is to actually go out and fight the war. That is actually go out and do lead generation and look for clients. And then once the war ends, you just did not, the war did not end like this. There are certain processes that happen after, all the rites are happen, all the, maybe the cremation ceremonies, and then the victory ceremony, and all those things also happen once the war or once the battle is over. So similarly, once you know that this particular prospect or this particular person can be your ideal prospect, now it's actually time for you to close them and deliver them what they desire, right? Or deliver them the desirable results as well. So that is what, these are the three stages about which I talk inside Dream Clients Accelerator. And along with Dream Clients Accelerator, I also have a small boot camp which is happening on this weekend, that is 22nd and 23rd. So that is also coming, and that is for more for newbie freelancers who are starting their journey. Whereas Dream Clients Accelerator is for those people who have probably worked with, say, a couple of clients, and or who have worked with beta clients. The boot camp, the freelance Kickstarter boot camp, is focused on for absolute beginners. Like even if someone is they know that they want to become a freelancer and they have no idea where to start with, this boot camp is particularly for them, and that is what I'm going to help them to kickstart their freelancing journey in the right way without wasting their time and effort. So, yep.
Amazing. So I wish you all the very best, and I will drop the related links in the description below for the people to check them out. Okay, thank you so much, Harshi, for coming here, and this was really a wonderful session.
Thank you so much for having me. It was so glad connecting with you and your audience. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
All the very
much.
best.
Thank you. How did you like this interview? How did you find me as the host?
You are beautiful. You are amazing. Like I really enjoyed speaking to you. So it was fun. The questions were on point and the questions were actually value adding ones. So definitely a great one. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much for having me once again.
Thank you. Thank you so much.